So, I just wanted to pop on here this week and just remind everyone that social media, YouTube included, is just a highlight reel of someone's life. It does not give you the full story of what's going on behind the scenes. I know I've been posting a lot of travel videos, and I feel like most of my videos have been on the positive side. And while that's true, like we are having a great time traveling, we've been getting outdoors a lot, we've been doing a lot of stuff that I normally don't get to do in the summer. Um, I am having a really good time, but at the same time, I'm really struggling right now. And I just wanted to remind you that what you see on here is not the full picture whatsoever. I've been having a lot of struggles lately, especially with work. I know I touch base on that quite a bit. I think I've just about reached my breaking point of how much longer I can stay there, for several reasons. I'm not going to go into details on this video because I'm still working through those things. But it's been really difficult for me, and most days I feel really sick, because I am being autistic. I do have a lot of sensory sensitivities, and being in an office where I have zero control of anything around me, um, bright lights, noise, smells, interacting with people, my schedule, it's taking a toll on me, and it's been taking a toll for probably since I got there, which is 7 years, but the last couple years have been getting increasingly difficult, and I feel like I can't be there anymore. Um, so I've actually decided to look into getting a certificate into accounting, which is a completely different field than what I'm in. I'm currently, my background is in sales and logistics, which I do enjoy my job itself, but I can't do it at my current position, for the reasons I just mentioned. And I've been really struggling for the last several years finding another job in those related fields. And I don't know why. I interview well. I have a great resume. I don't know if if there's a new format that I'm unaware of that I'm just struggling with and people aren't seeing it, and I just get passed over. But there've been several jobs where I was like the perfect candidate, and I didn't even get to like the next round. Um, the other thing is a lot of these jobs I'm just not excited for. Um, Knowing how much work they put in the details, I know I can't do it. So a lot of these jobs, even though they fall into the logistics or sales categories, I don't have a passion for a lot of these jobs, and so I've barely found any, and then the ones I do get excited for, I don't get callbacks. So I feel like I've been going round and round in circles for the last several years, and I need a change, and I need it quick. So I've decided to get a certificate into accounting, which is something that I've always had interest in. I've just never pursued, and in hindsight, I would have loved to study that in college in my 20s, um, instead of the major that I did study. And so I think, like, I should have done this years ago, but I think it's finally time that I change courses. So I am going to get an online certificate. It should only take me about a month to do. And then, fingers crossed, I can find a job within the accounting field. Um, Preferably work from home, but I will go into an office for a while if I have to, just to get my foot in the door, and then keep hopefully I can keep pursuing like a full degree in accounting if it's needed, or who knows what'll happen. But I just feel like something needs to change, and I need to do it now. So the next couple months are going to be super jam packed for me. Um, Studying for this, I'm also looking into like a 2 year and 1 year degree programs at our local colleges just to compare to what I found online as far as courses go. So I've been like deep diving into that. I've been exploring so many different avenues um, of extended education, and it's been a lot. The one thing that's held me back from doing it is the cost. I definitely cannot afford to go back to school. The like tuition prices are absolutely ridiculous. Even for a 2 year degree, there's no way I could afford that. And there's no way I could keep my full time work schedule that I have now and like work and go to school. I would have to do one or the other. So I'm there's a lot of financial things that I'm looking into to see what my options are. Um, because I don't want to just not have an income and hope that things work out, but that might be that might be what happens. We do have quite a few months of savings, but I don't want to dip into it. But I feel like my health is really struggling at work, like really, really bad. Um, and I just can't do it anymore. So if that's what needs to be, it needs to be. Um, but back to struggling with my mental health, that has been the primary thing on my mind is um, finding jobs. Am I going to go back to school basically, even just for a month or so to get a degree or a certificate? Um, how am I going to pay for these? How fast can I find a job? Can I find a job? Um, and yeah, it's just, it's been a lot. Usually, when I start feeling like this, I get really bad anxiety, and it's just like I feel like my my heart is beating so fast that my chest is just going to explode. I can't sleep. I just ruminate over and over thinking about basically worst case scenario. Um, this time, I'm not feeling so much anxiety, but definitely depression and definitely thinking about worst case scenario. Like, okay, what if I quit my current job because my health is not good? I can't take it anymore. What if I just quit? And then what if I get this certificate? What if I never find a job there? What if we run out of money because I've used up all of our savings and we end up on the street or have to move in with our parents, which for me is a no go. I can't live with people, not even family. It's so hard for me. So I just keep going over worst case scenario and like trying to talk myself out of this. Like, why would you do this? This is such a bad decision. You're gonna regret it. You have no guarantees you'll find something, even if you do get this certificate in accounting. And I just keep going over and over these things. Even though at the same time, I think it's the right move for me and I'm super excited for it. I just go, like, um, I'll go from super motivated, like, let's do this, let's research all these things, I'm going to start right away. And then 5 minutes later, can barely talk because I've like sunk into a depression state where everything's going wrong and everything will go wrong. So I've been bouncing back between those moods a lot the last couple weeks, and it's been really hard for me. Um, but I feel like right now, because I normally when I get like this, I drop all of my other activities and solely focus on what's going wrong in my life, like stopping exercising, stop eating healthy. Um, I stop going outside and enjoying nature, which usually like helps me, but I just find like I can't I just get in this state where I can't do anything. Like I'm just so depressed or anxious that I just, like, I can't physically do any of these things, which are supposedly supposed to help me. Um, but this time around, I'm feeling okay, even though I'm going through these struggles. I I still have been working out. I still have been going outside daily, even if it's just for a morning walk. Um, I've started volunteering. We've done the Fetch a Friend where we take the dogs out. We just took Bo out a few days ago, and he's such a sweet dog. I hope someone adopts him super soon. But on top of that, I decided I'm going to actually volunteer at the Humane Society. So I've been completing my orientation for that. But that's one more thing that I've added to my list of have to do's when I feel like it's already pretty long. So that's kind of stressful. I'm glad I have these extra things to look forward to because I feel like they have been helping me from sinking further and further into my depression. I don't think that because I'm doing these things, I'm less depressed. I think that I'm motivated not to be in this spot anymore, that I'm not letting the depression or work get to me. It's already taken so much of my happiness and joy right now in my life that I'm not going to give it anymore. And I refuse to like give up these things that are helping me. So I'm going to continue to work out. I'm going to continue to read. I'm going to continue to go outside. I'm going to continue to go on our camping trips. I'm going to continue to volunteer. So yeah, that's where I am. I keep going. I just keep bouncing back from depressed and not depressed, or they are like, or I'm just living with both feelings at the same time and just doing the best I can. So some of the activities that I've been enjoying recently is definitely camping and being outside with my husband. That's been really fun. We have another camping trip next weekend, and we're going to go back to the Oregon coast, close to where we went the first time near Florence when we got rained out. There were a couple things there that we didn't get to do that we want to do again. And then also we've been doing the Fetch a Friend with the Humane Society. We took Bo out yesterday, and he's such a sweet dog. He has been there several months, and he's been getting looked over because he's pretty kennel aggressive and looks pretty vicious when you walk by, just because he's scared and nervous. But as soon as you take him out and play with him, he is so loving. He ran up to us and just gave me like a huge kiss, and then just kept snuggling with me on the car ride, and then wanted to sit by my husband so he could snuggle him too. So he's such a good dog. If we were ready for a dog, we would definitely consider getting Bo. And then on top of that, I've also actually been starting my application to volunteer at the Humane Society. This is something I've been wanting to do for years, but I have a really hard time committing to things, whether it's sporting events or like workout classes or um, community events, volunteering, anything that requires you to commit in advance and multiple times is really hard for me because I just never know how I'm going to feel the day of or even an hour before. My emotions and mental state can go from like really great to low very quickly, and I never know how I'm going to feel, and so I just have shied away from doing those things. But with the Humane Society, you don't have to schedule yourself for the same shift every week. You can just like pick what works for you, and you could probably do it like the day before. So I should know about how I'm feeling. So that's really nice. And everyone's so nice there that I definitely want to get involved a little bit more. Um, and it's one more thing to add to my list that brings me joy in my life. I'm really trying to create a life that is filled with things I enjoy. And this is definitely one of the things I've been wanting to add for a really long time. We also just went to a kitten yoga class that was put on through the Humane Society. They have about 100 kittens in foster care right now, and so they've been teaming up with um, the new museum in town and doing kitten yoga nights. So we went. There were only 4 kittens, which was kind of sad. I thought there'd be several more, but it was still super fun, and it was just a one-time thing. Um, and yeah, we had a good time. Even just watching other people interact with the cats, it was fun. I've also been reading a lot. As you know, it's one of my favorite hobbies, and I had a slump in the beginning of July, and I think that's probably when my mental health was like really low. I just couldn't get myself to I just didn't want to do it, and I also didn't have any good books that I wanted to read. But I went to the library and found several on the shelf that looked decent. And I'm I think I've hit my stride again. I found some really great ones, including Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. That one I'm reading right now. It is really good. I just finished the first section, and like I think I'm going to read it super fast because it's really amazing. The other one that has just like blown my mind is the Fourth Wing series. I used to read a lot of fantasy, and that was like my primary reading genre that I loved in my 20s, but I haven't really read it in the last 10 years or so, and it's not something that I really want to read right now. It just doesn't call to me, but I saw the first book, Fourth Wing, just on a shelf at the library, and I picked it up just kind of, if I didn't like it, like no harm done. I didn't pay for it, so I can always return it or not finish it if I don't like it. But oh my gosh, I loved it. I finished it in 2 days, and it's a pretty hefty book. Um, so I just got the second one, and I'm going to start that sometime this month. But I am excited for that series. I did not think I would like it. I don't know why. It didn't call to me, but it's really good. Um, it reminds me of a mix of Hunger Games and like another dragon series. I think it's called Aragon Dragon Rider. Um, but yeah, really good so far. I actually just read this quote recently, and and it said, like, if you're going to imagine the worst case scenario, then you also need to take time to consider the best case scenario and the most likely case scenario. Um, because if you focus on just the negative, one, you're going to drive yourself crazy, and two, like, thoughts become actions, and that's probably what will end up happening. But if you focus on the other two, then who knows what can happen. So I'm really trying to do that. I'm trying to catch myself when I'm focusing on the negatives and remind myself to think about, okay, what could be the best that happens? And that would be get the certificate, find a job right away, get the schedule of my dreams and not have to worry about money. Or like the average case scenario would be get the certificate, go through a little bit of savings for a few months, and then land a job. So that seems likely. So does best case scenario. They all seem likely. So I just need to stop myself from only focusing on the negatives. And that's what I'm really trying to do. It's going to be difficult because August is going to be super jam packed, which I wasn't expecting, but I think I've got a lot of things going on. And it's only a month. I can get through it. I can get this certificate. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I will find a job. I will find the schedule I want. I will find a work from home job. Let's do it. um Anyways, thank you for being here as always. I really appreciate all of you that have been following me on this channel. um, through the highs and lows. I want to represent myself in a realistic fashion, and I feel like I had to make this video to balance out all of the more positive, fun, activity driven videos that I've been making, because this is also what I've been going through. And I just wanted to remind you that I do not have my life together. I'm almost 40 years old and I still have no idea who or what I want to be when I grow up. I don't know if I will ever figure that out, but I'm getting closer and I'm ready for a change. So thank you for going on this journey with me. I will probably update you guys at a later date to let you know what's going on, but that's everything that I've been dealing with. So anyways, um, take care, and I will see you next week for another video. It'll probably be a recap of our trip to Florence, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, have a great rest of your summer. And I hope if there's anything you are struggling with right now, that you too can look at the positives and not only focus on negatives or worst case scenario. Give yourself the benefit of doubt. I'm trying to do that, and it'll all work out in the long run. I hope. It will. Yes, it will. All right. Take care.